Hawks win 5-3 over the Penguins. This is our 10th victory in a row over the Penguins, and it was yet another good one. We end our two-game schneid that we started off in 2019 with a big victory over the Penguins, and honestly, the PK played great tonight, and honestly, we may have scored one power play goal on the stat line, but the special teams, the power play kept rolling after our power plays ended. More on that after in the stats. Cam Ward was the starting goalie of the Hawks tonight because Colin Delia will be starting against the Calgary Flames tomorrow in Chicago. It was a solid game all around. Ward did not get off to a good start to start the game, and he probably would admit that as well. Penguins scored 2 quick goals on him, and they were kind of bad goals on Ward. He probably would admit that he should have made the saves. And the Hawks got off to a slow start. Then they started picking it up once they got their first power play of the game. And they played solid. They shut down Crosby like they normally do. And anytime you could shut down Crosby and Malkin, you should win the game. And they do that all the time when they play the Penguins. The Hawks get up to play against the Penguins. We need to play them every game of the season, it seems like. Because it seems like every time we play them, we play well. So, Ward played a great game. Even though he got off to a slow start, he picked it up, starting to shut the doors down, and he played probably one of his better games in recent time. The Winter Classic was a good game as well for him, but he played a lot better this game after losing in the Winter Classic. Let's look at the shots on goal. For the Hawks, in the first period, the Hawks had 7 shots on goal, and the Penguins had 12. So, you could tell where this is going. In the second period, the Hawks had 14 shots. The Penguins had 16. So, more shots on net. Got a little bit more spread out between each team. They got them within 2 shots in net. In the third period, the Hawks outshot the Penguins 10-6, where the Hawks in total shots on goal, 31 to the Hawks and 34 to the Penguins. Special teams was key to tonight's game, and the penalty kill for the Hawks stepped up and showed they can play a lot better than where they're ranked in this season. They shut the Penguins down, and it caused the Hawks to gain momentum. They had a 5-on-3. Usually if you kill 5-on-3s and in a game, you win the game. The Hawks killed the 5-on-3. The Penguins could not score on it, and Hawks win. That's not just about it. The power play also, another solid part of the Hawks game tonight. They kept cycling the puck and getting it to the net. DeBrincat did score a power play goal. I will say more on that in the goals of the game, but he did score on a power play goal. You probably already know that if you watched the game after a rough loss by the Chicago Bears because of Cody Parkey. But the PK showed up to play and the power play. After cycling the puck, they did get some goals after power plays, and they were acting like they are still on the power play. So, let's go into the goals of the game, why not, since I'm talking about kind of stats on this. At 2:43 in the first period, Patrick Hornquist scores his 15th goal of the season, assisted by Malkin and Simmons. And then at 4:33 in the first period, scored by Jake Gensel, his 18th goal of the season, assisted by Letang and Ross. So Hawks got down quick 2-0 within the first 5 minutes of the game. Sounds familiar, right? We would lose a lot of games this year about going down quick. Well, the Hawks showed up after giving up that second goal. So at 16:23 in the first period, scored on the power play, his 19th goal of the season, Alex DeBrincat, assisted by Patrick Kane and Eric Gustafsson. Hawks made it a 1-goal game in the first period. Good on the Hawks on the power play, cycling the puck. It was a quick power play because Malkin was sent straight to the box and for hooking, and about literally 15 seconds on the power play, DeBrincat scores an easy goal. So let's go to the second period, down 1 goal. At 6:46 in the second period, scored by the former Pittsburgh Penguin, his first goal of the season, first as a Chicago Blackhawks, Chris Kunitz with his first goal of the season, assisted by Marcus Kruger and Carl Dahlstrom. Hawks now tied the game 2-2 by Chris Kunitz at 6:46 in the game. Good on the Hawks. They get a good tying goal by an ex-Penguin and make it a tied game 2-2. But at 9:49 in the second period, Derek Bouchard scores his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Phil Kessel and Pedersen, to make it a 3-2 Penguins lead. But at 16:59 in the second period, his first goal of the season, scored by number 2, Duncan Keith, assisted by Seabrook and Kane. This came about 5-10 seconds after the Hawks were on a power play, and Keith snipes it past to Smith, and Hawks tie the game at the end of 2 to go into the third period. The Hawks started off on a power play, and here's this. At 1:48 in the third period, right after the power play, about 10 seconds after the power play, Dylan Strome scores his 10th goal of the season, 7th as a Chicago Blackhawk, assisted by Kane and Taves. Kane had a great game tonight. He had a total of he had 3-point night. That's always good to see by Patrick Kane. All assists though. And Jonathan Taves, another good game by him. So at 19:33 in the third period, scored by number 19, your captain, Jonathan Taves, on the empty net. And that was his 17th goal of the season. And Hawks win 5-3 over the Penguins. Yes, Jonathan Taves shows up to play against the Penguins every time he sees them on the lineup. He plays great against them. Kane played a great game. He got 3 apples on the game. That's always good to see. DeBrincat had another good game. Strome played a great game as well. And the entire team played solid after the Hawks gave up 2 early goals to be down 2-0. But they came together and played hockey. They played it for fun. And that's what they need to keep doing, because now I know it's probably a long shot to do it. They're only 3 points out of a playoff position. Anything can happen. Whoever's in the wild card, which is the Stars and Ducks at this moment, they could go on a long, bad schneid, and the Hawks could keep rolling and somehow make a surprising push to the playoffs. I know it's a long shot, but it's a possibility. We're only 3 points out from a playoff position. Who would have thought that when we were on those 2 8-game losing streaks that the Hawks were on this year? And honestly, how the Hawks came back to play after letting up early goals, they showed a resilience that they really had an issue with at the early parts of the season. They are on a roll. They're playing probably their best hockey in over a year at this point, because going into 2019, what I'm talking about, beating the Penguins their first time this season, that was when I felt they were starting their roll to a better positioning and standings. They are playing a lot better all around hockey. Defense, if it could be iffy, but it's been a whole lot better than it was when Colleton first came into the team. And now with us having Sheldon Brookbank as our defensive coach, I think it could get a lot better. But honestly, Hawks are on a solid run. I know it's a long shot. It will be something to see if they could surprise the NHL and make a push to the playoffs. But honestly, I know it's a long shot, and I don't think it's going to happen. But besides that, Hawks beating Pittsburgh, it's always nice seeing that, because, oh, I hate the Penguins. I cannot stand them. I love seeing them on the schedule, though, because we always show up to play against them. And they did it yet again, and a big victory by the Chicago Blackhawks. Cam Ward looked, with how he slid the stick between his glove after the victory, like a goal celebration some players do with the stick slide, Sally. That shows a little bit of a spark going on with the team, showing that they're playing their best hockey. They're showing that they are wanting to play lot solid and maybe help for a future upcoming season by potentially having a better fate. This team they're getting a lot better, playing a lot better hockey, and I love it. So, by the way, let's do the players of the game. Why not? Since I have not done that. Yeah, I forgot about that. With the first star of the night from the Blackhawks, number 88 with 3 assists, Patrick Kane. Second star of the night, just because he did it against his former team and he got his first goal of the season. The NHL app says this, has it as the stars, that's what I'm looking at. Chris Kunitz, number 14, gets the second star of the night in his old barn. And then from the Penguins, for the third star of the night, Patrick Hornquist. I am okay with that. So, Hawks had a big victory over the Penguins like it should be anytime we play them. It's a good win. So leave your comment down below. What's your takes from tonight's game and a big victory over the Penguins? And I thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I know you enjoyed the outcome. Hawks win 5-3 over the Penguins. And most of all, let's go Hawks!